Hello, boys and girls. Happy 4th of July. I couldn't find a flag, so I put on my flag dress. And one of the disappointments is this 4th of July is going to be different because of the COVID-19. I decided to do my own fireworks. So if you can, join me. Here I go. Woo! Now let's do it again. Let's make that bang hash. Boom! And another thing I'll miss is going out on a picnic and singing under the stars. But I learned a little ditty that I thought you might learn with me. Now, I'm not a singer, but I do carry a tune. So here we go. My flag is red, my flag is white, and in the corner there is blue. My flag is for my country. I love my red and white and blue. Can you sing that with me? Let's go again. My flag is red, my flag is white, and in the corner it is blue. My flag is for my country. I love my red and white and blue. One of the things I wanted to share with you today is about all kinds of wonderful people that President Barack Obama wrote in his book that he wanted his daughters to learn about. Because we in this America are made up of all kinds of wonderful people. Now I've picked out some to share with you today that maybe you didn't know about. And the first one is an artist. Her name is Georgia O'Keeffe. She's very famous. Her paintings are in museums all over the world. She began painting in New York City, but when she came to visit in New Mexico, she fell in love with the desert. And she has a home, she's no longer living, in a place called Ghost Ranch Conference Center. And I got to work there one summer, and I got to see her sometimes walking through the apple orchard. And this is one of my favorite pictures. It's a picture of poppies, and it's huge. The next person I wanted to share with you is, do you know the name of the first black man who played in baseball? Do you? Well, his name was Jackie Robinson. He was a graduate of college, and in 1956, he was recruited by the Brooklyn Dodgers to play on their major league team. He encountered lots of prejudice, sometimes lived in fear. But throughout the years, because of his talent, his teammates learned to respect him, and his fans adored him. Look up more about Georgia O'Keeffe and Jackie Robinson. Our next person that I want you to learn about is Helen Keller. Helen Keller, she looks like a boy in this picture. Helen Keller, when she was very young, she had a serious illness that left her blind and deaf. So the family had to hire a teacher, and for weeks and weeks, she tried to find a way to get through to Helen so Helen could understand what words, like a tree, how did you spell that word? So one day she dipped Helen's hand into the water and she signed the word on her hand. And so Helen began to run around and touch the tree and ask all kinds of questions, and quickly she learned. But today, our sign language you can see. And Helen would say, hello, how are you? So let's learn that so you can talk with your hands. Here we go. Hello, how are you? And if she was leaving, you could say, goodbye. Yeah, on TV now you see people signing, using their hands all the time. They call it hand talk. The last person I want to share with you is a young man named Cesar Chavez. He was very, very influential in helping the farm workers. All of them were so poor, and the conditions that they worked in were so difficult and hot, and had to work long, long hours. So he would shout out and say, we need to do this, and yes, you can. And I was living in St. Louis when all of this began to happen, and he was working with grapes at one time, and our family did their own little protest by not buying grapes. Cesar Chavez, a very special American. The thing that's wonderful about our country is it's made up of all different kinds of people, different races, different religions, different beliefs, people who want to share their gifts and talents with others. So my friends, for this time I say goodbye and happy 4th of July.